Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're finishing up, well, maybe not finishing, but we're getting the second part of the interior done. In the first part, we got the sideboards done on the doors. We got some carpeting put in, and that's turned out pretty well. So today we are going to do the headboard. And so let me show you how I'm doing it using the original plastic that was on the headboard. And we're just going to modify it and add to it. I'm very pleased with the carpeting and that result. We've got a seam down the middle that's going to be hidden by the seat. The back edge, that's going to get cleaned up with a cover over it. I'm going to prepare the back of the cab with it's a PVC with foam and then a carpet on top of that, and that'll come up to about the bottom of the window. But today, or this part, we're going to put in the headboard. And this headboard is 3 pieces. Originally, it was 3 pieces of just this plastic. I think it's PVC, maybe it's something else. But on that plastic, it was like 1 strip on each side and then 1 big piece in the middle. So we're going to use that same stuff, but we're going to put on the closed cell foam and then also this gray suede type of top. So let me show you what I did. Here are the 2 side pieces. And then the main piece in the center is, I got just finished gluing up the majority of it. I've got to do this bottom edge yet. But this again was this plastic, this dark line. The closed cell foam is this white, and then this gray suede cloth. We got a cutout for the back for the light, courtesy light. So let me finish gluing this up and we'll try to fit it in place. Before we do that, I was having concern about this curve and any wrinkle that might happen, and it still might. When this piece goes in, it may get bent, a little bit more that way, flexed in, and that causes these ripples and bubbles. But we'll see if it's going to happen or not. And if it does, we'll try to get the iron and iron out those bubbles and kind of shrink the material a little bit. So let's try to glue these pieces, this back edge yet. And again, I'm using 3M spray adhesive number 90, and I'm looking for the can, and I seem to have lost the can of spray. Let me go get it. All right, there's 3M spray. Okay, so I cut relief notches in here, and it looks like I've got to do one more right around these corners. It's critical to do that and necessary, otherwise you're going to get puckering on that piece. A couple more in here. All right. Okay. Let me put this behind it, otherwise I'm going to get spray all over the place. let's wait a few minutes till that sets up. It's best to let it set up so it gets tacky, and it will adhere to each other much better once it gets tacky.
5 minutes later, 5 minutes later.
Okay, so it's set up enough now. So carefully stretch it up, and it sticks really nicely. Don't have to pull real hard, but just enough to take any looseness away from this edge. I always try to get the edge of the piece first. And I have to put a little slice here, right at this corner. A little bit more on here. Alright, while that gets a little drier, I'll do these. Trim off excess. That doesn't really do much. Sometimes the thickness it builds up too much thickness and gets in the way. So this is how we trim it. We get a little bunched up here, but that's fine. All right, let me get these pieces. Off here. All right. So I think this piece is done. We're gonna have to put a little slice in for this light. Let me get the sharp razor, and I'll do that once we bring it up to the truck. And before we put on the headliner, I'm going to add in another little piece of insulation and soundproofing right in the middle of the ceiling, because there's a standoff here, but there's about an inch of gap, and so I'll put in a panel that'll fit right in there. Okay, so I'll give that a second. We'll see if it's sticky. Yeah, seems to be a little sticky. All right, while that sets up, let me go get the main headliner piece. Okay, this should be tacky enough. It's not going to fall down. And again, this is just really going to just help more soundproofing, more deaden sound. The truck's going to be loud anyway with some loud mufflers. All right, let's see if we can get this thing lined up and set up there. I put tape on the front and back edge, but may end up having to just measure side to side, make sure that it's even. Let's get the front edge in first, and it was tough to squeeze it in into this lip of the kind of the front of the headboard. So let's see how this goes. The other thing I've got to do is cut this little slice for the courtesy light before I forget. Let's see, where is it? There. There. I think. Yep. Just a little X cut to allow me to fish this wire through for now. When we put the light fixture on there, we'll get it large enough. All right, so if that doesn't move, we'll be in good shape. Let me tape it up here. And now stay there. Okay. Come on. Stay. What I should have done was put marks at each edge so that I would know exactly where it gets lined up. But I didn't. And it's 3.5. This is like close to 3.5. Like I said, this is really quite tight going in. Because it makes this back edge very tight. All right, let me see. It's got to go towards the camera, towards you guys. Let's see. How close is it? It would be nice to have another set of hands right now, but it's all just me. There's 3.5. That's a little more than 3.5. But this piece is going to overlap anyway. Doesn't have to be exact, just close. Kind of like horseshoes and hand grenades. Now, if that front edge would just slide. I need a way to slap it in there. Let's see. I don't think it moved at all. Let me get this wire in here. Come on. Yes, we are very close. Now, there's a little bit of ripples. And we're sort of centered. Let's see here. That's 3 3/4. That's 4. No, that's 4. That's 3.5. 3.5. I think we're okay. Okay, that looks fine. We've got our pretty light wire, and okay, I'm glad that's in. Let's take that off. Now, what we have to do is I've got to cut off the bottom edge of the 2 sides, because where it kind of came down a bit too low here, and we're going to try to put in this bottom piece of the back of the cab. That's going to go right up to the bottom of the window weather stripping. So I wanted that to go directly across, and the side piece comes down kind of like this and covers our support bracket. So I'm going to take a little bit of these bottom edges off, so that we've got enough of that bracket to fasten on the bottom piece. I have the side pieces of the headboard and headliner made up. These are the 2, the passenger side and the driver's side, right at your left and right ear. And what I did was I used this cloth on PVC, the original PVC headliner, and it was just plain. So I put this closed cell foam on there, and then wrapped it with this gray suede type of cloth, which is in the rest of the truck, door panels and such. So use glue, spray on adhesive, 3M 90 high strength, and that will hold up. Do not use the 77, that does not hold up in the heat. So put the adhesive on, and make sure you cut these relief edges around these corners. Otherwise, they're going to get buckling. So both sides are made. Here I've got to trim off the bottom of the plastic, because I didn't want it to extend that far down on the back of the cab. So because we're going to have another piece of PVC on there with, I believe, maybe the same cloth, or it will be the gray carpet. But we'll find out after I figure out what fits, what looks best. And we got the bottom edge trimmed off, and that's looking fine. There's enough of that lip to mount the bottom piece on. The driver's side, struggling to fit this in right up here at this corner. That has to be trimmed out a little bit, so I'll do that. And I'm still gluing up the passenger side, so when that's ready, we'll put that in. Before we put on the back cover on the cab bottom, I've got these nice brand new sun visors, and they are from Dennis Carpenter. Gray, I think it's a vinyl, and new stainless arms. So we're going to use stainless steel fasteners and put them up here. So let me do that real quick and then we'll get started on the carpet for the back of the cab. Okay, we're gonna use, I think, number 8 screws that we already had holes and mounting points from the stock pieces. Let's see how these look. They certainly go with the gray motif. Oh, I don't know if there's really a left or the right side. It looks like this is the left side. So I'm going to put this, let's see, maybe I'll put this rod in here first. It's certainly tight, so it shouldn't sag down. Let's see how this goes with number 8. Seems pretty tight. Might need a number 6 screw. Try that. Yeah, they should catch. All right, seems like number 6 is the one. That one's loose. Maybe that one needs a number 8. Try a 6 over here in this other one. That one's a little bit more firm. Yep, 6 works there. Now, I'll have to get a piece of tape and kind of try to catch that and pull it back out. I can't really retrieve it. That looks pretty good. I'm thinking maybe the right thing to do is to put a piece of, well, actually 3 pieces of that 3M black window caulk, and that'll hold it firmly in place. These screws are holding, but yeah, well, maybe we'll try it for now. If they have a problem, we'll take them off and, oh, maybe I'll do it on this one since I haven't mounted it yet. Oh, it's 3M spring caulk. I'll just put a couple pieces right at that opening. And that'll help avoid any rattling if they do loosen up. Okay, one more screw to put in there. Seems like you never know what you're gonna get with these old cars. Combination of rust or somebody just putting in hardware that'll fit, so it looks like They should work fine. Actually, could even put a number 10 into this one, this hole. And these arms kind of hang down. May end up having to take them off and bend them up a little bit. They appear to be saggy, but they're just need to be bent. That's better. Well, that's not bad. Put these two to match. All right. They look pretty good. All right, cool. Check that off the list. Oh, actually, it was never on the list. All right, so then in the center, we'll have our rear view mirror. And I think those holes got covered up with some body filler maybe. Okay. On to the fun part of the carpeting on the back of the cab. Well, I kind of got a jump start and forgot to turn the camera on. But in the back of the cab, I have this large sheet of, I don't know, it's about 1/8 inch plastic. And I got it from Home Depot. Home Depot's and Lowe's has it. And I think it's for bathrooms or something like that. But anyway, this works out pretty well. This is going to get attached to this the backboard, and there's ribs here, here, and at the bottom we could fasten it. But what I tried to do was make this whole thing one entire piece, and it did not work out. It was just too awkward, and I was messing up the edge of the paint. So I decided I'm just going to cut a flat piece, which is the very back, and then taper around the corner, and this is bendable enough to put two pieces in here. So we've got a 6-inch piece, and then there will be about a 3-inch in between here, but we'll wait till we get these both in place. So that's what we're doing. It's not what I originally planned to do, but I think it's going to work just fine. This board was, could slide behind the battery box, but it's tight. And I'm hoping that I can still get the carpet on there and not have to re-drill these mounting holes to the battery box to bring it forward just to, like 1/4 inch. But, so that's that. This is the carpet. That's going to go in there, and it's, I don't know what it is, 1/4 inch, a little bit less than 1/4 inch thick. So I think that's going to blend just nice with the existing carpet on the floor and the gray headliner. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a rough piece that'll fit over the entire area. And here we're going to leave some make extra so that can get tucked up underneath this lip of the window weather strip. We'll fasten these pieces in with probably number 6 screws that are shorter than that thickness for sure. And then after all these pieces are on, we're going to go ahead and glue in the carpet on top of it. So these corners are, with carpeting, it's certainly going to be less forgiving. You're not going to see puckering, and it'll be a solid mount. So that's what we're going to do. The wiring for the third brake light is a little bit of a concern. I wasn't sure, and I'm still not sure, if I'm going to mount a window or a light here to shine through the back window, or to cut into the back of the cab so that you get a light there. Probably end up mounting it so it comes through the back window. That would be the easiest, and for now, at least, that's an option since we're going to be fastening this down pretty soon. But I'm going to leave this wire for that third brake light out. I decided to try one, but I'm going to use these self-tapping screws. They're pretty short, and they have a pretty wide head that it spreads out the load. also have plenty of them, so I won't be short. Oops. I also wanted to say that on the stock 51, and I don't know what other years they have them, but there's a tray that goes back here, and there's 2 mounting holes for bolts. So I've got them marked right here on the edge where this rib goes, and then from this edge over 16 inches is the center of the hole. So I just wanted to make sure I had that before I cover this all up. Because I think that would kind of be useful to have a tray back there for storage, since the glove compartment has all the Dakota Digital electronics taking up that space. All right, let's get a couple more. All right, so that'll give us enough room to slide that carpet underneath this lip. I'll leave this here for now. I might end up trimming this back and then tucking it under, and then if we do put that third brake light in, we'll be able to retrieve it and hook it up. This very top edge here around this corner. So I'll leave this loose. We'll fasten everywhere else. So, all right, let me finish attaching all this stuff, and we'll get back to you. We have the major pieces fastened in place. I used self-tapping screws. Oh, these gaps, this middle gap, kind of wonky. Tapers up. These pieces are not exactly contoured the way the ribs are, but we're gonna get a piece in here, and then I'll have to fill in, kind of like shim it out a little bit with maybe some more pieces of plastic, and even this curve up. But for the most part, I think it looks really good. I put some subcarpet to help dampen a little bit of the vibration of this piece back there, and that should help. And we'll shim out those little pieces so that those corners are kind of even from top to bottom. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Time for the carpet to go on. I hope I have enough spray adhesive. But the back is all ready. We've got all the corners put in, taped, they're shimmed enough. So the measurement is about 34 inches top to bottom. I'm gonna cut the piece 36 or 37 and trim. Width-wise, it's about 70 inches, but this piece is about 80 inches. So we'll just go with let's just go with a 3-foot section, actually 37 inches, cut it, and start to glue it in. All right, so we have our piece cut. I'm not sure if this is the best idea, but it's an idea. I'm going to start by tucking up this carpet into the groove first. No adhesive on it. And then once that's all in there, this kind of will pinch it, I hope. And then we can start to put layers of spray adhesive down and then work our way from top to bottom. After that's all glued up, then we'll have to trim off our two side pieces at the door. I rethought about this. This will get trimmed even, so they'll be butt up against each other. But I think I might put a chrome strip right here on both sides. I think that would look okay. So let's see how this works out. We just have to get it started, which is kind of the hardest thing. See, use this little plastic pick to lift that lip up. Just going to work our way over. Put a little bit of glue on, and then tuck it in, and then continue on. Just want to make sure that you can get it underneath that lip to catch. I think once we get this first kind of row done, the rest should be pretty easy. But then trimming around the doors could be a little challenging too. All right, that looks good. It's right about there. Let's get this. I've used the 3M77 adhesive on the ceiling already on a different car, and I would never use it again because once it heated up from the sun and the car warmed up, it just released and it just never stuck. So this 90 is the best. You can do headliners, just normal headliners, because it doesn't seem to lose its adhesiveness with heat. So it works pretty well. And I'll try to get these corners. Or maybe the smart thing might be to do is get this flat section first. Just roll this over and then do these rounded corners after this flat section is done. I think that might be, I think that's I'm gonna try doing that. I think that's gonna work. Because if I try to roll this up, it's gonna pull away from this top part. Or maybe the smart thing to do is to just let this cure a little bit longer for a little while and then do these other parts. I just don't know. I think I'll fold these in and then we can roll it up easier. All right, so I got a nice section here. I roll the carpet up. And we're just going to do this flat spot in the middle. Alright. Looking good so far. Way to few moments. Let that cure a little bit and get tacky. And we'll fold it down.
11 minutes later.
All right, now we can start to trim off this excess at the bottom. And we need a very sharp razor. Last time we had carpeting put in our house, the guys left us some of these razor edges that cut carpet really nicely. And you can really slice yourself pretty easily, so you gotta be careful. So it's just a matter of taking your time, because it takes time to do all this right.
4 to 6 days later. 4 to 6 months.
Well, we finished gluing everything in, trimming everything along the door side. We got the seat belts in. Battery boxes back in, so this all turned out really pretty decent. I'm happy with how this edge turned out. You do have to get some longer bolts for the seat belts, though. But anyway, yeah, the carpeting and the upholstering is kind of done. Now I'm going to put in the seat. We'll walk it over there. Alright. Worst part might be lining up these bolts. If you get a screwdriver and jam it from the bottom side up, that may help line up the bracket to the hole. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, we got that one loose. Loosey goosey. Get this other side in. Hopefully this one's gonna be easier. And it is. It's going. Let me try the other side. Yep, going down. All right. Well, I got these. I'll tighten these up and then put the back. But yeah, that's kind of what it's going to look like. It's not the fanciest interior, but I think it's really pretty nice. Anyway, I just want to say thanks for joining me. If you haven't done so, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it just helps me and helps other people find the videos that, in case they're interested in learning about this stuff. But I think I'm going to end the video here, and so we're going to continue on with the build. I don't know exactly what's going to be next. Maybe the back bed, maybe to fix the air conditioner leak. I don't know. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.